we've inherited a real mess, and we've decided to take tough decisions to deal with it, to take it head on, that £22 billion black hole in the economy. I wasn't prepared to pretend that it wasn't there, to walk past it, to make it feel good. So we took the tough decisions, and that is tough. But we did it early, and I think anybody watching who's run a business, run an organisation will know, or even decorated their house. If there's a tough job to do, you know it's got to be done. You're better off getting on and doing it, because things will be better on once you've done it.
Can you say
Keir Starmer's recent apology to the UK was intended to mark the start of a new chapter for the Labour Party? However, it has instead raised more questions than it answered. After facing months of criticism, Starmer acknowledged that the party had erred. Yet, on the same day, he made headlines by ridiculing the 3 million signatures on a petition calling for a general election. This reflects the sentiments of 3 million citizens who feel unheard. Starmer's response? A dismissive laugh. It appears that this apology was more about preserving his image than genuinely addressing the growing dissatisfaction in society. While the Labour Party has undergone rebranding and pledged change, can anyone truly trust these promises now?
Hi, I'm really intrigued as to what Keir Starmer is going to come up with. I mean, he clearly senses, unusually, he's got his finger on the pulse in sensing that the nation is absolutely mutinous over these latest immigration figures, because they truly are astonishing. I think there was a general expectation at Westminster that figures would be quite significantly lower than what was published today. And not only are those figures astonishing in and of themselves, but we've also got the ONS, the Office for National Statistics, admitting that they got their figures wrong to the tune of over 200,000, which begs the question of how are we supposed to trust any of these figures that are coming out?
Labour MP Tahir Ali's impassioned plea for responsible action resonated deeply with the public as he condemned the spread of discord and hatred fueled by reckless behaviour. He urged swift intervention, cautioning that the escalation of divisive politics could lead to a profound societal rift. Ali's stance was unequivocal. Exploiting power to incite conflict poses significant risks. However, Isabel Oakeshott disagreed, arguing that religion should be kept separate from politics. She advocated for leaders to maintain neutrality and prioritize unity-driven initiatives rather than those that could exacerbate societal divisions. Oakeshott warned that exploiting sensitive topics like faith for political gain can have perilous consequences.
in the clearest possible terms, whether from here on in to the end of your term, there will be any tax rises, and I'm talking about to business, to national insurance, or to people's tax. Will there be any?
So we took really tough decisions in the budget, and we did them early. And we stabilised the economy, and that was tough. And I don't want to in any way suggest that we're going to keep coming back for more, because that isn't the plan. That
so
isn't the
no more tax rises.
So we did the tough stuff in order to stabilise, because what individuals and particularly businesses have said to me is, look, do the tough stuff, but then we need the degree of certainty. We need to know that things aren't going to materially change. So that's the approach we've taken.
The crucial question is whether these public apologies will lead to genuine change, or if they are merely a tactic to divert attention with the hope that voters will overlook the unfulfilled promises of the past. In this context, one significant question lingers. Does Keir Starmer truly grasp the extent of public disappointment? Isabel Oakeshott is unflinching in her criticism of Starmer, known for her bluntness, as she consistently challenges his leadership and points out the gap between his rhetoric and his actions.
It isn't because the man is stupid, it's because, and this is a theme I keep returning to, he lacks judgment. And that is so important for somebody at the top of politics. If you don't have the right judgment, you're not going to last long. So you ask the question, how does he get this off the front pages? Here's what I'm going to say about that. This is not going to go away until he reveals his secret.
Yes.
Now, I don't know exactly what his secret is, but he sure as hell has got one or more secrets, and they relate in some way to Lord Ali and to his family. Now, I don't know how those two things overlap, but there is a secret there. There are papers all over this. They are waiting for their moment. There are people other than newspaper journalists over this too. Lord Ashcroft has already indicated that he is writing an update to his biography of Sir Keir Starmer.
The state of affairs is heating up, and each new day brings with it waves of tension and discontent. Citizens sense the burden of unresolved troubles placing over their heads, and political debates end up best in echo of inaction. They call for self-assurance and clarity, and that they need to peer that their leaders are equipped to take obligation for the destiny of the country. When Oakeshott talks approximately the want for concrete steps, it resonates inside the hearts of many that are bored with uncertainty. The call for braveness and backbone is growing. However, as a substitute, they face uncertainty and fluctuations. How lengthy are you able to forget about the concerns of the people, hoping that they may subside on their own? There may be no development without a clean plan of action, without ambitious selections which could unite, now no longer separate. The Labour Party is at a crossroads, wherein it's miles essential to pick out the best direction main to the recovery of consider and appreciate from voters.
What I can't do is say to you there are no circumstances unforeseen in the future that wouldn't lead to any change at all, because if you just look at COVID and the Ukraine situation, everybody knows there are things that we can't see now. But I can tell you our intention was to do the tough stuff in that budget and not to keep coming back, to stabilise so businesses could know, well, look, it's tough but fair, but at least we know now with certainty and we can plan. That's the mindset that we brought to the budget.
She doesn't simply make unsubstantiated claims. Her complaint is primarily based totally on concrete facts. Whether it is approximately Labour's incapacity to address urgent problems or Starmer's unfulfilled marketing campaign promises, Oakeshott is usually prepared to offer a clean answer. Her function in politics is that she needs responsibility, now no longer permitting the government to avoid the truth. Unlike many others, she speaks boldly about actual problems, even supposing it causes embarrassment, which makes her particularly great in opposition to the heritage of others. For Starmer, Oakeshott is a reminder that society is aware about his weaknesses as a leader. The most important query now is, will Starmer keep to disregard her and the hundreds of thousands of residents who proportion her factor of view? Or will he ultimately take note of them and start to take their reviews into account?
And having worked for Lord Ashcroft on biographies, I can tell you it's no secret that he is not afraid to put things out there in the public domain that he believes to be in the public interest. So I would take that tweet by Lord Ashcroft as a very big shot across the bows. So if Sir Keir Starmer has something to hide, and I'm afraid I believe that he does, then it's sure as hell time to get it out there now, get ahead of the story. And if he has nothing to hide, which is still possible, he should nonetheless front up the rumours, and he should hold a press conference and he should just say, look, I realise that all of this has created a perception that there's something else going on here. And I also realise that people are wildly speculating about my private life.
It is critical to be aware that Oakeshott isn't always afraid to express his opinion openly. She argues that Starmer's moves to remedy the migration hassle are truly insufficient. Oakeshott stresses that Labour's loss of a clean and coherent method on immigration may have extremely poor consequences. There is developing disillusionment in society, mainly in the areas which have been maximum susceptible because of expanded immigration. People call for actual action, now no longer empty promises. So the query arises, what's Starmer's plan? Is he looking forward to the scenario to remedy itself, or is he ultimately geared up to take a steady position, ensuring immigration manipulate calls for an included technique and a willingness to interact in communication with the public? Without a clean route and clean steps, the hassle will most effectively get worse, and this may turn out to be a tough take a look at for the country's destiny leaders.
How could he have left that off? You know, it is so astonishingly stupid that you begin to think, is there something else at work here? Is someone actually plotting to make this party, this leadership, this particular prime minister fail? How can they have left that off? Because talk to anybody, and I know probably I'm in a bit of an echo chamber. A lot of people that I talk to are very, very passionate about what's happening to our country as a result of the loss of control of our borders. But I think that many Labour voters and many who, you know, aren't sure who to vote feel really strongly about this. So why isn't it at the heart of his agenda? I find that utterly bewildering. And you know what? Every time that he makes a basic mistake like this, those on the other side, those in the opposition parties, and literally privately...
People who formerly supported Keir Starmer at the moment are carefully whispering approximately his intentions. They sense that each promise is only a smokescreen hiding their genuine intentions. Wondering if Starmer can be capable of repairing misplaced trust, citizens are confronted with a tough choice. Every new step, each new promise, can be subjected to rigorous analysis. The public craves transparency, sincerity, and, importantly, actual action. They need to hear how phrases are converted into deeds, and now no longer stay simply fleeting phrases. He faces a vital choice: to illustrate his genuine identification or end up any other sufferer of political games. Time will inform how honest Starmer without a doubt is. What are your thoughts in this video? See you.